I want to express my dissent regarding statements and positions that are supported by too many people. I think it's necessary to clarify and highlight the danger of certain ideas, mostly because many agree with them and show their support for them. These ideas arise from the ideology called Efilism that some try to promote by connecting it to antinatalism, but which should instead be detached from it for various reasons. Considering murder as morally wrong should be obvious, I think, but evidently in this case it's necessary to make it clear killing humans and animals to prevent future suffering is morally impermissible. It's seriously bad and unacceptable, and it has nothing to do with antinatalism. Also, in many cases, killing is even ineffective for the goal of reducing the total amount of suffering. The red bottom scenario will never be a reality. It is delusive to think that it can be anything more than a thought experiment. Neither sentient life nor the human species will ever go extinct because of a human intervention of any kind directed to that goal. I think that ideas shouldn't be held at all costs in an uncritical and irrational manner, like in order to follow a figure perceived as a leader or to mitigate a sense of helplessness. But that is what many of those who call themselves antinatalists are actually doing in support of Efilism. Till not long ago, I too agreed with Efilism. I saw some problems with it, but I thought they could be fixed and that it was worth supporting. But then, slowly, especially lately, I realized that Efilism is not simply polluted with harmful and wrong ideas, but is substantially made of wrong premises and conclusions. I have increasingly realized that Efilism is useless for its own purpose and detrimental to the ethics behind antinatalism. Efilism doesn't equal sentiocentric antinatalism, which means antinatalism applied to all sentient beings, as I myself tend to believe until recently. Um, but it's something irremediably different. It's made of various ideas, often arbitrarily connected to each other. It's an ideology whose sole purpose is to minimize suffering at all costs. For Efilism, the end justifies the means, even at the cost of being violent, and this is seriously wrong and dangerous. Efilism entails being in favor of killing in circumstances that are not limited to extreme cases, uh, cases of proportional and necessary defense, or euthanasia of agonizing individuals who are unable to give or deny consent. The pro-mortalist stance of Efilism is also not limited to a so-called endgame scenario. Efilism aims to the extinction of all life, or at least to the extinction of all sentient life, as if it were something realistic and achievable. Sentient life cannot be eliminated, but suffering and harm can be reduced and prevented. But this doesn't include harming and killing human and non-human animals in order to prevent their future suffering and that of future generations. This is not justifiable. It's misleading to call it euthanasia. Preventing harm, and in particular preventing the creation of new sentient beings, is not a valid justification for killing. Some ethicists argue that people are already behaving as antinatalists, as they are not procreating enough for population replacement, and that we are on a path to go extinct independently of antinatalism. So, therefore, these atheists think that it's inevitable to have to find a solution for the extinction of the human species and consequently for the extinction of non human sentient life, since humans will be gone for good. Well, first of all, this is not true. They are obviously not behaving as antinatalists. Only the countries with more wealth and education have a negative population growth. due to people having less than two children on average, while all the other countries still have a positive growth rate. But even if humans will ever reach a point where the whole population starts to decrease, they would definitely find a way to stabilize demographics. Humans will not go extinct this way, and any extinction plan, whether it is for humans or animals, will remain just mere speculation. So there is no clear and precise definition of Efilism, but we can say that Efilism is a pro-killing ideology influenced by philosophical pessimism and based on pure negative utilitarianism. As such, it is in favor of sacrificing the few for the sake of the many, uh, and it includes the idea that the red bottom scenario or benevolent world exploder is realistic, and that it's actually feasible to convince enough people to attempt to such feat, and that anything that looks like it, even if it involves great evil, violence, and the infliction of serious suffering, should be pursued. Aphilism entails certain metaphysical positions as well, such as determinism, and even certain political positions. Antinatalism has nothing to do with all of it.